Hello everyone, this is Robert from Book of Mormon Editions, where we discuss printings, publications, and various editions of the Book of Mormon. Today we will review the 1908 RLDS reprint edition of the Book of Mormon, currently published and sold by the Restoration Bookstore out of Independence, Missouri. It's become a catch-all edition for a lot of various denominations. I hope you'll see why this is in a minute. Some background on this was that in the turn of the 1900s, the reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints obtained the printer's manuscript from Oliver Cowdery's estate through the Whitmer family. The printer's manuscript was cross-referenced and used to make a new 1908 edition of the Book of Mormon for the RLDS community. This was a benchmark edition for the RLDS Church for years to follow. They were proud to have this edition, and later printings and copyrights were based upon this 1908 printing. So as time progressed, the RLDS Church announced some doctrinal changes around 1984, where it caused a lot of contention with the organization and individual congregations. It came to a point where many members and even full congregations removed themselves from the RLDS Church. These separated congregations called themselves restoration branches, where there was no central leadership other than on a local level, but they do gather together in various conferences. And then around the year 2000, the RLDS Church renamed themselves the Community of Christ and published their own edition of the Book of Mormon under that name. The problem was that Herald House, the printing arm of the RLDS Church, continued to print for the Community of Christ, and therefore these restoration branches were without a printer. Eventually, this 1908 text fell into public domain, so Price Publishing out of Independence, Missouri, picked up the old text, imaged it, and reset it for a new printing. The book is a hardback with gold lettering on the front, cover, and spine. The introduction starts with the title page and the testimony of the witnesses. It then continues with a preface regarding the RLDS conference in 1908 that brought forth this book. The text is in single column form with verses that coincide with the RLDS versing, as the RLDS and Salt Lake editions have different verses. What I mean is that the text is relatively the same if you read it out loud, just that the chapter and verse breaks are different, and this edition is part of the RLDS versing. The text ends on page 777 and has an index in the end. So this 1908 reprint is one edition of the Book of Mormon, printed for the restoration branches, no longer affiliated with the old RLDS Church or what's now called the Community of Christ. Another group called the Remnant Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints also uses this edition, as they have no church printer either. We'll review other editions that are also used by these groups in future videos. This book can be obtained online and at the Restoration Bookstore out of Independence, Missouri. Thanks for watching this video. I hope I've done enough to show the proper light on this edition of the Book of Mormon. If there are any of you in the Restoration branches or Remnant Church that would like to comment about this printing, please feel free to below. If you have a special or unique edition of the Book of Mormon that you'd like reviewed on this series, please contact me at bomeditions@gmail.com. Best wishes and be kind to everyone. Thanks.